The reasons that this case opened was based on domestic abuse. It was a domestic abuse case. The young man who was the father of the child and the woman who was the mother of the child were living together, and it was a very volatile relationship.
In the beginning, the abuse was mostly mental abuse. It started with him controlling me, telling me who I could see and who I could hang out with. He kept me secluded from my family and from my friends. And then it escalated to him being physically abusive.
They feel a loyalty to the person, and they also feel shame, and they feel like the reason for the violence is it's their fault.
Every time that he abused me, it got worse and worse.
It's just so hard because it's just really fuzzy, everything that happened, because I didn't really know at the time exactly what was going on.
During my pregnancy, I never told anybody about the abuse. I kept it a secret because I wanted to have my family together, and I knew that if I told anybody about what was happening, that it would end, the relationship would end. And I just kept thinking that things would get better or his behavior would change, but it never did. Leading up to the time that Gavin was born, there was a lot of stress in the household where I was living with him at the apartment. I decided that I needed a break and I was gonna go stay with my parents for a few days. The very first night that I stayed at my parents' house, my water broke. After Gavin was born, we were right back in it again.
The father wound up one night choking the mother to the point of almost unconsciousness. And a few days after that, a life skills worker noticed ligature marks on the mom's neck and reported that to DHS, who stepped in immediately and removed the child from the home. I think that as the CASA in this case, I was able to bring to bear a lot of encouragement to mom and a lot of, I worked hard to bring resources for dad.
There was a lot of reasons that I didn't just leave the relationship. It would have been a lot easier for me to leave in the beginning, but I didn't realize at the time what was really happening and where all of this was progressing to. He threatened to take Gavin. He threatened to kill my family. He threatened to kill my friends and certain people in my life. And all of a sudden I start thinking about what's gonna happen to my son and where is he gonna go and who's gonna take care of him, because his mom's gonna be dead and his dad's gonna be gone forever. And that really hurt me.
There was concern that Gavin's dad would abuse Gavin as well. Mainly what concerned me the most was he had expressed self-harm interest in self-harm, which indicates that if Gavin were present, Gavin could be harmed as well. So we wanted to avoid that and try to get Gavin in a safe place and get Gavin's dad the therapy that he needed to help work through his issues. Near the end, with the team as a whole, we really felt that mom was on track to complete all of her treatment plan. Gavin's dad at the time was in prison. Gavin was living with his mom, and she had a setback. She made some decisions that were very concerning to the team and the court.
There was a court order in place that stated that I was not allowed to let Gavin see his dad without there being a supervised visit. The only time that Gavin's dad was allowed to see him was with supervised visits, and I violated that court order and I allowed him to see Gavin without supervision. It was just me, him, and Gavin.
The court came to the conclusion at the recommendation of the team that Gavin had to be removed from his mom, and that was very, very difficult.
It would have really hurt me to see somebody else raise my son, because I know that I've done a good job and I knew that I could have done a good job, and I just couldn't imagine anybody else raising him.
I felt bad for her, and I know how hard she had worked, but I also felt that this was an opportunity to really sit down with Mom and tell her the extreme seriousness and the repercussions that could occur because of her decisions.
I'm so happy that I've gotten to watch my son grow up. He's been such a joy, and he's just made my life so much brighter and so much happier, and I'm really thankful for that.
I saw a very loving mother caring for Gavin, playing, with little toys, or I got to watch him begin to walk. His mom would be encouraging him.
Roy really made me feel like everything was gonna be okay. It wasn't the end of the world, everything that was happening, and that there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
Roy impacted our family a lot because he was Gavin's advocate, but he also slowly but surely became my daughter's advocate as well, and even an advocate for our whole family.
As his CASA, I was able to advocate for mainly his mom, to where she was able to provide a safe and permanent environment for him to where he could thrive and grow into a very successful young child and young man.